Hey everybody, and welcome back. So glad to have you here today. Well, there are so many ways to declutter these days and a lot of different methods out there. Today I want to show you 4 easy and incredible methods of decluttering, and we're going to dive into them and see how each of these methods work. Hope you enjoy this video, and let's go ahead and dive right in. So number 1 is one of my favorites. It's called the packing party, and this is by the minimalists. Basically, this method is where you essentially pack everything in your house as if you were moving out, and you pack it all into boxes, and then you will set it all aside for 3 weeks or a month, or you name it, however long you would choose. And you will pull out the things that you need. You will pull out the things that mean value to you and the things that you want or need to have. And at the end of the timeline that you've given yourself, or set a few months, then you'll go back and evaluate what is left in those boxes, and you can pretty much just take all of it and go ahead and donate it or sell it. This method is really nice because it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. Kind of gives you like a little bit of peace knowing that you still have it, but you can go back, and it's kind of like a time will tell type of decluttering method. You see if you need it, as time goes on, and if you don't need it at the end of your timeline that you have chosen, you can go ahead and get rid of all of it. So I love this method. This is perfect for people that are actually moving, but this is also great for anybody to be confronted face to face with all of your stuff and all of your clutter, to realize actually how much you really have. Sometimes the largest category item that we have in our home is the just in case items. So by packing all of these things away as well, you will only be pulling out what you need, what's essential to you. When you have all of the just in case items packed away and you realize that you never even pulled it out, you realize that you actually don't need them, and then you can go ahead and get rid of them. This is a really safe way to go about with minimalism, and a very effective and easy way to just do like a whole house declutter. So I really love this method, and I would really recommend this way of decluttering. All right, number 2 is the KonMari method. This woman, Marie Kondo, created the KonMari method, and she wrote a book called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. The majority of the way that her method works is through organization, but she does have a unique way of decluttering that may resonate with you. I'm not going to be going into much of the organization part. I will be going over some of the ways that she likes to declutter and how she goes about it. So this is a little bit more of like an emotional type of decluttering process. You kind of have to get into your feelings a little bit, but she suggests only to keep things that spark joy. Now, you might be thinking, well, I have this hammer and it does not spark joy, but I need it and it's like essential. Well, again, not all of these methods will work for a single person, but go ahead and give it a try. And I mean, you can do this for the majority of your house. You can do this for a lot of things that you have emotional attachment to. Our goal in all of this is just to be able to declutter more and to enjoy our lives and to enjoy our time and really make the most out of the things that we have and that we own, and keep what brings value to us, what's essential, what's needed, and just kind of get rid of all of the excess so that we can have time for what matters most. So Marie's order for decluttering and organization is first clothing, then books, then papers, then I believe it's miscellaneous, which would include everything like toys, gadgets, the utensils and things that's in your junk drawer and all of that. And then it would be sentimental items. So you are more ready to get into sentimental items at the end when you have already gone through your clothes and everything else, because you are already in the mindset of just keeping what sparks joy. And one last thing just about the KonMari method, she likes to take all of her items category by category. So when it's clothing, she will take all of the clothing, she'll put it all in one spot, be face to face with it, and then go through each piece item by item, and she will ask herself the question, does this spark joy? And if you don't have like how she describes it as kind of like happy cells, like your cells are kind of like firing up, like you're just like excited, a little feeling of joy when you're holding that, item or piece of clothing, go ahead and pass it on, set it aside, donate it, whatever. But what she says is for these items that you want to get rid of that don't spark joy, she says to thank them for your service with it, for your time with it, and then just go ahead and, bless someone else with it, go donate it or whatever. So I think this is a really fun method. I've actually done this a few times with items that didn't really bring me joy, but I was kind of keeping just in case. I thanked it and it was somehow easier to let it go. It was like a sense of closure with that item, as we could easily be attached to stuff even if we don't like it. Next on the list is the Swedish death cleaning. So this one is basically where older people would kind of go through all of their stuff, their years and years worth of stuff, and go ahead and get rid of it, part ways with it, because you have the understanding that you cannot take everything with you when you die. It's also kind of like getting rid of stuff so that your kids don't have to take care of that when you are gone. Now, this could get a little controversial. You have parents, grandparents, yourself, even myself, that are just like holding on to things like to give to your children, hoping that they'll want it, and you just want to give them a token of something. Which is fine, but just like to give them on, to pass on all of your stuff and your clothes from when you were like 2 years old and all these things, I don't know. It could get kind of controversial. But I think one thing we could all kind of come to common agreement on is that it's not the thing or the stuff that gives us the joy or happiness. It's honestly the memory with it or with the people or the experience that you had, and that's kind of what like lives on instead of the actual material object. So with that in mind, it could be a little bit easier to, do away with a bunch of old stuff. You can do this as an older person, you can do this as a younger person, and just kind of go through all of your stuff that you've just been like holding and accumulating for so long, and then just go ahead and get rid of it, pass it on, because you can't take it with you. Of course, you could include your children in on this and see what they would want at that time, and if they don't, go ahead and pass it on. All right, so the fourth and final method for decluttering is the 30-day minimalism game, and this is also by the Minimalists. This is a fun game that I actually have not tried yet personally, but it's basically where you can start at the beginning of a month, or you can download their free calendar, I believe. Start on day 1, you will get rid of 1 item. On day 2, you will get rid of 2 items, and so on. By day 30, you will get rid of 30 items that day. So at the end of the 30 days, you would have gotten rid of approximately 465, I believe. That is huge. So this could also be great for people that like don't really know where to start, and they're not really older, they don't have too much like stuff in the Swedish death cleaning type of category, or they're not really too sentimental. Maybe this method would work for you. You can make a game out of it. I also encourage you to play the game with a friend or a family member or anything like that, and that you guys can each do it together and see who can go the longest. And then if you both make it to the end, then you're both winners, because ultimately you won by decluttering so many items. So this is a great way and a great thing that you can do, especially as a beginner. But I would highly recommend any one of these methods for you, whether you're just starting out or whether you are a little bit farther down in your decluttering journey and you're kind of stumped and you don't really know where to go. Again, this could be a great thing. Try one of these methods. All right, so just to summarize it all up, we have the packing party, the KonMari method, the Swedish death cleaning, and the 30-day minimalism game. These are all, again, great for anybody starting out or anybody who has been in their decluttering journey for a while. And I'm sure with either of these, you would find great success and you would be able to excel in your decluttering journey in some way and in your minimalism journey. Now, whether you want to be a hardcore minimalist or whether you just want to get rid of some items in your home and lighten up the load a little bit and have a little bit more free time to do things that you enjoy instead of cleaning up so much, either of these methods could be great for you. Thank you so much for being a part of this channel. We are very blessed to have you here. Let me know which one is your favorite method and which one you try out. We are so excited to hear that down below. Also, if you are into motherhood, minimalism, living a healthy lifestyle, that type of content, go ahead and subscribe. We are really thrilled to be able to provide you with some valuable content every week on these topics. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.